My name is Adriana, and my partner is Raina. She chose to interview me on my favorite poem, which is called Jada by Tupac. I decided to write everything I'm going to discuss on my phone instead because I couldn't say it off the top of my head. Um, the poem goes, "You are the omega of my heart, the foundation for my conception of love. When I think of what a black woman should be, it's you that I first think of. You will never fully understand how deeply my heart feels for you. I worry that we'll grow apart and I'll end up losing you. You bring me to climax without sex, and you do it all with regal grace. You are my heart in human form, a friend I could never replace." How does this poem make me feel? This poem makes me feel convinced that love is more about chemistry than biology, and what I mean by that is being able to find someone you click with naturally is one of the best feelings. You feel like you've been best friends your whole life, you're so comfortable with them, and that's what I think Tupac felt about Jada, because he said that she was an irreplaceable friend to him, and maybe that's what a soulmate is. Not someone who shares every single thing in common with you, but someone who feels like home instead. When he uses the words foundation and conception, he is saying more than just those words. He is meaning that a relationship means so much more than just two people with a title. It is learning and teaching one another about communication, loyalty, bonds, and futures, teaching one about the other, protection and care. My first favorite line in this poem is, "You bring me to climax without sex." Tupac is stating that Jada doesn't need to have a sexual interaction with him to feel a spark in their connection, what they have. That the love he has for her already runs that deep. My second favorite line is, "You are my heart in human form." He is meaning that she is everything that he wants, is, and hopes for, is the assumption that I am making. To say someone is your heart is the other version of you, like your other half. What do I take from this poem? I take a lesson. I think every poem has more than just a meaning to it. Someone who takes the time to write a poem isn't only putting their time into that poem, but more of their heart and ideas. People who write poems to express themselves through words instead of actually talking them out. Poems are something that arouses strong emotions because of its beauty, and sometimes that may or could even be hidden. They always aren't straightforward and sort of like to leave us on edge, trying to make us want to grasp more, giving us a twist. Understanding a poem gives you a sense of somebody else's feelings and things from their perspective. I would recommend this poem to somebody who is interested in poetry because it speaks on a very spiritual level, I think, especially because Tupac has now passed away. Tupac wasn't only one of the greatest rappers or actors, but also a poet. To someone who likes poetry and is into it, someone who gets the concept of it would really understand everything that is being discussed in depth. It wasn't just how cleverly his words rhyme. It wasn't how cleverly his words rhyme. It wasn't just the rhythm or the cadence. It was the attitude and character being shown. It was poetry processed in a way nobody had ever thought about before. And Tupac had so many sides. He was unafraid to write about his vulnerabilities and always kept it real by showing his true colors and character. Something you may notice about this poem is that there wasn't much rhyme, and I think these are the best kind of poems. In poetry, you expect words to rhyme, you wouldn't expect them not to. But in this particular poem, much isn't rhymed till the last three lines. See, poetry isn't about rhyming. It is a way to understand how language and symbol systems work. It is a worthy expression of emotion or deep feelings and aesthetics, or a sense of what is beautiful about the world or what little beauty we have to show of it in it. Even though Jada is now married to Will Smith, Tupac was a person and time in her period of life that she will always hold on to. She believed and said in her own words that they might have killed one another because of how passionate they were and loved so deeply. She said the lesson she took from Tupac's death was that life is too short and do not let disagreements stand in between the people that you love. Their relationship wasn't something more than a romance, but about survival, about holding one another down and having each other's back when nobody else does. That's one of the best feelings. So, yeah. I basically chose this poem because I guess you could say after reading this poem, it gave me hope about love, or that love is real, and their bond kind of showed me that what they have wasn't just love, but before love always comes a friendship. And that's exactly what they did and had. Thank you.